Number 2 on my list, after don't not take rest days, is do not set unrealistic goals. I know, right? So setting unrealistic or vague goals, you're just setting yourself up for failure right there. Y'all, hey, welcome back to my new channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, we got so much to do, so much to talk about today. We got to run, of course, pick up the things. I need to pick up my prescription refills. I got to run by and drop this off at the Brown Man for a return because I got the wrong thing. But before we get into all that, I am of course going to go ahead and ask y'all to like this video, subscribe to this new channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. And I feel like I need to, remind and let y'all know, I think folks that are fans of the old channel or came here from the old channel know that my back catalog, if you will, look at me trying to act like I am somebody, but my old videos, so all my old food and fitness stuff is still over on Reads. So it's still over at Fit Danielle Reads, and I'll link that here. Y'all know I don't know how to link stuff in a video. I'm gonna try it here, but it's probably not gonna work, so I'm gonna link it in the description. But I left all of my food and fitness videos over there for a couple of reasons. One, because I knew I would make a complete and utter kerfuffle of trying to move them over here. And two, little inside baseball. It takes a while to get a video or to get a YouTube channel monetized. And this channel ain't gonna be monetized for a while. I mean, God willing, it will be monetized quickly, but it's not gonna be monetized quickly, y'all. It takes a while. So if I leave my videos over on the other channel, even though like when you come here, you won't see them, like you won't get kicked into a playlist that, let me slow down because it's buying other people's crap season here in the Northland, and apparently the crap sales are on. Anyway, when you come here, it's not going to kick you into a playlist of my other videos, but you can still go to the other channel and watch them, and I'll make a penny or two if you do. So I'll link here. You can go over there. All my old talking about stuff, making stuff, all those videos are over there. So that's one thing. I don't remember what the other thing was because I'm driving and I can't look at my notes. So let me tell y'all what. A friend of mine who apparently is a new viewer of my channel, because she texted me and she's like, oh my God, girl, you've got to tell me who this intern is. I'm completely intrigued. So, and I've been saying for a while I was going to tell the intern story again. So let me tell y'all the intern story again. I know I've told it before over on the other channel, but so the intern is my boyfriend. And I mean, we've been together forever, like forever. For 15 years we've lived together. Let me tell you what happened. So when I started, it was long before I started doing YouTube. I was working on doing like Facebook Lives and teaching online. And y'all, I know just enough about technology to be dangerous. Like I know just enough to really mess things up. So, and the intern, the boyfriend, has a degree in computer science. Like he's a straight up like computer nerd geek. So he was my IT guy. Like anything that needed done, he did it. And you know, I'd be like, well, I need, a camera and I need lights and I need this and that. So he made all of those things happen. Well, one day I was trying to get things together to do, I don't know if I was teaching a class or what I was doing, but apparently I was being a little aggressively requesty of things. And he said, I was like, honey, can you do this and can you do that? And I need this and I need that. And I got to be, on in, 4 minutes and this needs to be done and that. And he said, hey, the way you're barking orders, you may as well be addressing me as intern. And so then the intern was born. So from then on, we have just referred to him as the intern. So that's the intern. And of course, the furry felons are my dogs, Bo and Daisy Duke. And the reason I call them the furry felons is because they are felonious. They are forever getting into stuff. We have to check, like when we let them out. So they have collars on and we had an invisible fence, but Daisy is deaf. Like honest to goodness, the only noise that she responds to is in the garage when I'm riding the Peloton. If I grab my water bottle and my ring hits it and it makes like a loud dingy noise, she responds to that. And she responds, y'all saw last week during my grocery haul, she responds to the sound of her green bean treat bag rattling. Those are the only sounds she responds to. So, and Bo's getting that way too. And when you have like a shocky collar on, the training isn't on the shock, it's on the beep before the shock. So what happens is when the dog approaches like the border where they're not allowed to go, the collar beeps and then it scares them to go back. So like they only have to be shocked once or twice and then they stop. Well, they can't hear the beeps anymore. So they're no longer contained in the yard. Well, so they'll just take off and go like running around, pooping in the neighbor's yards, just raising Cain. So we have to check before we let them out. We have to go check and make sure that there aren't like people walking in the culty or anything, which is fine in the winter because like ain't nobody out walking in the culty in the winter. But like now when it's nice, folks are out all over the place. So this is a gross parking lot. Sorry. We're at the Walmart. I'm going to stop so we can visit before I go through the line. But anyway, so yeah, they are felonious. And now y'all know little felon Bo got himself freaking dragged in the woods by a coyote. So if that ain't felonious, I don't know what is. So yeah, the furry felons are the dogs and the intern is my man who, it's funny, like me calling him the intern is seriously like completely ironic because like he is not to like oversell it, but like he is a fantastic provider. So he is like the opposite of an intern. He is not like the, unpaid dude that just shows up to do stuff to learn, to like become somebody one day. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about the intern because I heart him so much. But let me I was trying to think if there was something else I was going to tell y'all, but you know what? We're going back to the house together anyway. So let me grab my prescriptions. Let me run and drop this off because I keep forgetting to do this. That sun is killing me. It's been riding around in my car for a week. So let me do this. Let me do that. We'll go back to the house. And y'all, here's what we're going to talk about today. I know you know from my thumbnail, but I was reading an article about how to have sort of a successful fitness journey. And all the things that this person was saying, I was like, well, that's dumb. I've done that. And I've done that. Like all the things are like, well, don't do this and don't do that. And I was like, you can do that and be successful. I've done that and I've done that and I did that and I do that all the time. Well, here's the thing, y'all. I've made all the mistakes so that you don't have to. So let me do this. And then we're going to go back to the house and either I'm going to work out and then we're going to talk about it, or we're going to talk about, I don't know. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to work out and then we're going to make some stuff because the intern is out of town. By the time you see this, he'll be back in town, but he's out of town for a couple of days. So I'm going to make a big old pot of something to eat while he's gone. So yeah, we're going to do that. There are seagulls. Can y'all see these seagulls? Because we're right by Lake Superior. So there are seagulls flying around and they're freaking me out a little bit, but I'm going to work out. We'll talk about how I've done all the mistakes so you don't have to. And then we're going to get in the kitchen and cook something. All right. So I'll see y'all back at the house in a little while.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo. Go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go.
All right, friends, we have made it into the house. I've kind of like adjusted our setup here so that you can have a little more view of the felons, because I have a feeling half of y'all just show up to see if there's going to be a felon spotting. So I figured I'd give you more felons. So we made it back from the Walmart. I got all my stuff. And obviously I went ahead and did my workout. And y'all, I got smoked. So let's talk about that a little bit. No, you know what? Let's talk. I tell you what, let's do. I have my list here of my top 10 fitness mistakes that I've made so that y'all don't have to. So let's talk about these. And I will work today's adventure into this. Like, I'll tell you what happened. Not that you didn't just see it, but I'll tell you what was going on out there while I'm going through my list. So, and I don't know that these are in any kind of order. I guess I could have done a better job, but let me just jump in. So, number one thing to don't do or not to do when you're training is don't overtrain and ignore rest days. Y'all, your body needs rest. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing about how when you work out, it breaks down your muscle tissue and you got to give your body time to recover, like for the muscle tissue to recover. Take rest days. I don't take rest days ever, but that's because I'm a little crazy. Like, I feel like this felon's kicking me. I feel like I worry that if I take a day off, I'm not going to start working out again. I know that's nuts, but more than that, and you're going to get a whole lot of this in this list, I have this imaginary competition going on with this person that doesn't even know I exist. So my arch nemesis, y'all have heard about him if you have come over from the Fit Danielle Reads channel to Fit Danielle Eats. So I work out on the Peloton, like I do things on the Peloton app. And through the Peloton app, there are different competitions that you can do. And y'all, if you give me anything to compete at, I'm going to compete at it now. I might win, I might lose, I might make a fool of myself, but I'm going to compete. So they have these different competitions or different goals. They're not competitions. They're goals. To me, they are competitions because I compete with myself. But so there's like there are monthly goals, and then there's an annual goal, and there are different things you can do sort of in between. And on most of them, you can earn a bronze, a silver, or a gold. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about that, but you can also have friends on the app, and you can see what your friends are doing. So like, let's say you're in the cycling challenge, and you have friends who are also in the cycling challenge. You can see how you're doing compared to your friends in the cycling challenge. Well, y'all, that's competing. That's a competition. And there's this dude named Longhorn David, and he is my arch nemesis, and we compete all the time. And by we compete, I mean that we are often neck and neck. And look at Bo. Can y'all see this? There's a felon right here. And he keeps lifting up his head looking at me like, you really are crazy. No, I know it. But I seriously don't think this person even knows that I exist, but I want to be the top producer in my cycling challenge, like out of all of my Peloton friends every month, all the time. And I know that Longhorn David, like I haven't looked well, okay, I did look today, but I haven't looked since I finished like teaching and running around and stuff. And some days he'll ride his bike outside and crack off like 45 miles. So I'm 100 miles ahead of him. Well, I was 100 miles ahead of him when I finished riding today. And that's my goal now, is to beat him by 100 miles every month. Because y'all, he can crack off 45 miles in a day like it's nothing. And if he does that in 2 days, I'm not going to be winning anymore. So anyway, where did that all come from? Oh yeah, that's why I don't take rest days, because I worry about Longhorn David beating me in my imaginary competition that I'm the only one competing in. So don't be a Danielle. Take rest days. Number 2 on my list, after don't not take rest days, is do not set unrealistic goals. I know, right? So setting unrealistic or vague goals, you're just setting yourself up for failure right there. And by vague goals, I mean goal, and I don't know what like other folks mean by vague goals, but to me, a goal has to be well defined. Like if I can say to the intern, I'm working on doing like I can't just be like, I want to beat Longhorn David. He's like, who is Longhorn David, and do I need to go punch him in his throat? A well-defined goal is I want to ride the Peloton bike for at least 110 minutes a day. I want to do at least 3 or 4 strength workouts a week, so that at the end of the month, I've hit my, like I have earned that the gold medal on the strength challenges on the Peloton. Now, I don't necessarily define which strength workouts I want to do, but most of them are going to be kettlebell workouts. The occasional one will be like a 10-minute arms and light weights workout that I do on the bike, but that's just because my legs are screaming so hard from other things I've done that I just can't do a full body kettlebell workout on days that I'm doing my strength training. But so to me, and I was going to say we have talked, but I know we have new friends here that didn't watch all my content over on the other channel. But SMART goals, if you set SMART goals, which are SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, SMAR, relevant, so they got to be relevant to you, and time bound. Y'all, that is, to me, that is clutch. They have to be time bound. So mine are naturally time bound, because on the Peloton app, they are like, you have a month to do your monthly goal. And I'm not going to lie and pretend like ain't every month that I get down to the last couple of days and I have to do like 3 or 2, it's usually 2 strength workouts in 3 days. I mean, it's a little humbling. I get it done, but it's a lot. But so time bound. If a goal is not time bound, you're less likely to get it done and less likely to be successful. So make them realistic. Don't set it like, y'all notice none of my goals have anything to do with running, because I ain't a runner. Like if you see me running, you best get up and start running too, because something's chasing me. And if I get away from it, it's going to come after you. So set goals that are realistic, and if you can, set SMART goals. So that's boo-boo number 2, is don't set goals that suck. Number 3, nutrition and hydration. Y'all. Some of y'all are already laughing because you know this story. So nutrition for me, that's a given. Like it's really not. I try to act all high and mighty. It's really not. I make nutrition mistakes all the time. And my big mistake is not eating enough protein. Even though I yap and gripe about eating enough protein all the time, that's why. It's because it's not often that I do it, but I have to be aware of the amount of protein that I'm eating in a day, because if I don't eat enough protein today, my rides tomorrow are going to suck. And I'm still going to do them, but they're going to hurt, and they're not going to be as productive as I want them to be. So then I'm going to be disappointed and grumpy, and it's just not going to be good for anybody. But I don't know where this Felon's going. So I try to be aware of my nutrition, which doesn't just mean eating lean or like minding my phone is, let me move my phone for Daisy. Because remember, the intern is out of town, so I don't want Daisy to try to call him and be like, Daddy, she's doing blah, blah. I know. Anyway, for me, and when you're working towards physical fitness, nutrition doesn't just mean being mindful of your points or your bites or whatever. It also means making sure that you eat enough protein if you're working out, eat enough good carbs so that you have energy, hydration. Oh, y'all, for all that's holy. Is it a couple weeks now? It's probably 3 or 4 weeks now. I got myself all dehydrated, and not like falling out, had to go to the hospital dehydrated, but I was having muscle cramps, and it was like consistent. Like, I mean, it went on for a week or so, and it was back when I was still in physical therapy. And it was the backs of my legs, and y'all, my hamstrings suck. Like, my hamstrings are like little, like, knotted up rubber bands. I can never work them out enough. I can never get them to loosen up. And the fact that I ride the bike the way that I do just doesn't help. So anyway, the backs of my legs had been hurting. So I mentioned it to my physical therapist, and she's like, well, and I had just started working out with kettlebells again after a long time. And she's like, well, that's because you just started doing, deadlifts and squats and stuff. So it's probably, you're just not used to feeling that way. I was like, oh, I'm cool. I'm having muscle pain from working out and I don't even know it. No, precious. What you done is I had started riding more aggressively again, which I hadn't done in a long time because I'd been hurt for so long. So I was sweating, I was losing, salt and electrolytes. I wasn't replacing them and I got dehydrated. So I was having muscle cramps that I didn't even like they were so bad I didn't even recognize them. You know how like when you get that cramp in your calf and like your whole leg goes like this? Well, it was like that, but it was like the whole backs of my thighs. So I don't know why it finally occurred to me that that's what I had done to myself. So I started pounding like those Propel drinks. And I had those Noon ones, like that you have to buy from like the Noon website or whatever, pounding those for a couple days. And finally my muscles started loosening up to where I could, actually like sit like a human again. And so I have learned my lesson, and still every few days I'll let it get to where like my muscles start to cramp and I'm like, nope, we ain't going back there. So mind your nutrition and mind your hydration, because y'all, if you let them get away from you, it's hard to catch back up. Ask me how I know. I should not even tell this because I know this is a mistake that I make all the time. Don't just focus. Like I'm just going to say it. Just go ahead and laugh, y'all. Roll your eyeballs back in your head. I had a student in class today, by the way, rolled his eyes at me so hard. I promise you, he did this. Look, he went, like rolled his head. He rolled his eyes so hard. I was like, child, roll them eyes back in your head. Anyway, y'all roll your eyes back in your head. Don't focus on just like cardio or just strength. You got to have I'm not going to say balance because y'all know I'm not balanced, but you need to do a variety of things in your workouts. Y'all, how bad I got stove up because I had stopped doing yoga, and I really was, I was focusing a lot on cardio and strength, but wasn't doing yoga, wasn't stretching, got myself injured and just kept doing it. So be mindful that you're working all of your muscle groups and that you're working them out and that you're stretching them. And I think one of my things on here is don't neglect warming up and cooling down. So if I end up like one short, I don't know that I'm even counting anymore, but we're going to roll that into focusing on just cardio and strength. So don't focus on just cardio or strength. You got to do both of those and other things. You need to, like I just said, if you're not going to do yoga, at least do some stretching, do some foam rolling, get you I don't have one here by me, but, and I'm not going to get up and upset these felons, but get you and it doesn't have to be a Theragun. We have actual Theraguns, but get you like a percussive therapy thing that like beats up your muscles. We have the big Theragun down here, and I have one in my office which I haven't been using as much lately, but from when my hip and my leg and my back and everything was all stove up, y'all, those things are amazing. But anyway, as much as you can, try to take sort of a holistic approach to working out. And I know, I do way more cardio than anything else. It's not because I like it. I mean, I do kind of like it now, but it's because I can sit on the bike and ride and like do my crossword puzzles and read books and stuff and still get a good workout. Go on ahead and judge me. I know it's wrong. I know it. So, oh, this is a biggie. And yes, right here. Don't jump straight into something and hurt yourself. Like, don't lift too heavy too soon. Don't try to go too hard on a bike, on a run, whatever it is that you're doing. Don't let your ego get involved and try to go too hard too fast, because y'all, you're going to get hurt. And I think that's what I did. So, like, I'm just finally coming out of this. I mean, I'm still a little bit tender from my injury, but I hurt myself probably, I don't even know when it was, probably the middle of last summer. And I ignored it and kept working out because Longhorn David. And because like I was working out and filming workouts and doing things. So my workouts were so much a part of everything that I did that it didn't occur to me, no more than the man in the moon, to like take some time off and let my body heal. It was all ego, like it was all tied up in my ego. So, and like not to the point that I thought, oh, I'm hurt, I need to stop. Well, I'm not going to stop. Like I didn't even think about it. Like I knew that I was uncomfortable, but I was like, oh, I'll ride through that. And I tried to ride through it, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse until I was to the point where like I couldn't stand it. And what finally made me stop was I got COVID, which had nothing to do with my injury. I got COVID because the intern brought it home to me. But I'm kidding. But I mean, that is what happened. But because I got COVID, like I could not ride. Like I had to take a couple of days off. I think I took about a week off from the bike. But that's the only 1 month that I didn't beat Longhorn David, by the way. But because I had already taken the time off and like had already broken my streak, I was like, well, I may as well go on ahead and get some like help for all of this. So I got I actually even just did a video consult with the PA at my doctor's office, got a referral to my Katie, my physical therapist, and finally like dealt with all of this. But and good Lord, what am I even talking about? It all goes back to the ego thing. Like if I had been able to even recognize at the time that I hurt myself, that I was hurt, that I needed to stop working out for a little while, go see Katie then, she could have fixed it. I mean, it took months of physical therapy to fix what I had done to myself. And that was after I ignored it and kept working out and was hurt for months and months and months. So if I had gone to her when I first did it, I mean, she could have fixed me in probably a couple of weeks. So I just ended up hurting myself worse because I didn't stop and like assess the situation and do something about it. So this all goes back to lifting too heavy too soon. Don't do that. Don't risk hurting yourself. And if you do that, it's not like if you jump in and start lifting too heavy, your body's going to catch up to the heaviness. It's really not. You're just going to hurt yourself. So quit it out and be consistent. Work out, eat well, follow your good habits consistently. Do the same things over and over and over again, whether it's every day, a couple times a week, once a week, a few times a month, whatever it is, however often you're doing those things, be consistent with it and it will pay off. If you just do it like hit or miss here and there every once in a while, it's just not going to help you. All right. These really are biggies for me. Don't fall into the trap of not tracking your progress. And I'm going to roll a couple more of these together because I think these mistakes kind of go hand in hand. So first, let's talk about tracking progress. Track your progress on all the things, like on everything. Not just like your fitness things, but all the things that you're trying to do, because you need to see, first of all, where you're going, and progress tracking gives you data. So you know, like I know, I'm just going to let all my crazy out here. I know on certain, like, based on the ride that I'm doing, based on the coach that's calling it, based on the difficulty of the ride, I know how many miles I should get in that ride. And if I'm off, like yesterday, I was just off. Like I was tired. If I go back and look at what I ate day before yesterday, I'm absolutely certain my protein intake was off because I was just crap yesterday. Like I just couldn't get, my hills were bad. I couldn't get much strength. Like I couldn't get much force behind my climbs, nothing. I mean, and I wasn't sick, wasn't nothing wrong with me. I was just off. And I know that because I track my progress all the time, every ride. And for me, but what was that? I use apps to do it so I can go back and look at when I did that same ride 3 days ago, how many miles I did. And when I did it yesterday, I was, I mean, it's like tenths of a mile off, but still over like a 30-minute ride, tenths of a mile, that's kind of a lot. So I use apps that track my progress, but some kind of how track your progress. I had like this cute little, I'm not even going to show you because it's so out of date now, but I used to actually like keep a bullet journal and track what I was doing and track my workouts and like how many more minutes I needed to do each day and all this. And it was super cute. And then I just didn't do that anymore, which is fine because I track other ways. So track your progress and give yourself credit for partial progress towards your goals. That is so clutch, y'all, because you need to be able to see that you're, I mean, not to be redundant, but that you're making progress, that you're actually getting somewhere. Because sometimes, y'all, when you're in the middle of the fight and you can't see the end of it and all you can see is like how much further you have left to go and you can't see how far you've come and there's nowhere to look and see how far you've come, you're doing yourself a disservice. When you're in the middle of the fight, you need to be able to look back and see how much you've done. And I mean, even if you're not winning, because I'm not always winning, but even if you're not winning, you need to be able to see how hard you're fighting. And this, if you're crushing everybody, like if you're just destroying all of your competition, you need to get some better competition because what is it? I keep saying I'm going to look this up because I know I always say it wrong. Iron sharpens iron. Is that it? Or steel sharpens steel. If you're competing with people that are much like, I'm just not even going to try to say this in nice terms. If you're competing with people that are much weaker than you, you're not going to get any stronger in that competition. Then you're just like showing off and bullying people. So you need to find better competition so that your competition will challenge you and congratulate yourself as you make progress towards your goals. Now, this is going to sound like I'm like talking out of both sides of my face hole when I say this. Don't compare yourself to others. I know I just said find some competition and compete with them. I feel like, and maybe I'm just crazy, maybe I'm just trying to justify myself. I feel like there's a difference between competing and comparing because I compete with Longhorn David and Pello Sooner every day. Although Pello Sooner is like far enough behind us that I don't feel like he's competition. So now I just feel like he's my friend and I want him to catch up with us, even though, y'all, I don't know these people. But I know a lot about Longhorn David's habits. I'm just going to say that. But anyway, I don't look at what Longhorn David is doing and say, oh, I'm not as good as him. I'm not as strong as him. First of all, I'm a girl and he's a boy. And boys tend to be stronger than girls. I don't know anything about him, but I suspect that he's younger than me and that he's bigger than me and that he has more muscle mass than me because I'm old and I'm female and I'm small. So that's going to give him physical advantage over me. And that's why I just have to work harder. I have to work more. And that's okay. That makes me work more. So I don't look at him and say, I suck, look at what he's... Okay, there are some days that I look at his 44-mile rides and go, oh, he cracked out 44 miles today. What? But I don't look at that and say, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do that? Somebody's making noise in my house. And the intern is out of town. I don't know what that is. Anyway, did y'all hear that? I probably just talked right over it. But like I don't look at his 44 miles in one ride as a way to say that like I'm no good. I just look at it as a way to say I need to work a little harder or I need to figure out how I'm going to offset that. Because y'all, I can maybe do 30 miles in a day. I can't do 44 miles in a day. So I need to look at that and see how I'm going to offset that with my own work. All right. I got to move on because I've been sitting here for probably 20 minutes just yapping. Oh, we're almost done. Get enough rest, y'all. Get enough rest. If you don't, and I know that like we can't invent time to sleep. Like it can't be like, oh, I work this many hours and I work out this many hours and I do this many hours. So now I'm just going to put more hours in the day to sleep. Try to prioritize getting enough sleep and getting enough, like having enough downtime, because your body, especially if you're working out and if you're like training for an event or something, your body needs time to recuperate. So if you don't get enough sleep, if you don't get enough good quality sleep and enough good rest, then your training, your workouts are going to suffer. So prioritize getting enough rest. And finally, I think that was 10. If you're counting, my numbers might be off because I grouped some together, but that was 10. And now here is a bonus one. This is huge. I'm going to anger some people. I should probably leave this out because we're trying to build this channel, not run people off. But y'all, quick fixes and fads drive me bananas. Please don't do that. Fads are fads for a reason. And I don't think I fall for these that much anymore. I used to. And every once in a while, I'll do like like find a new sports drink or something that I want to try. I try to look and make sure that there's some sort of research behind them. And sometimes like I'll fall for something, but I'm not gonna put the intern on blast, but the intern will like find these like, drink this and it'll rejuvenate your liver, or like drink this bubbly water and it'll homogenate your body or something. I don't know, like made up words. I don't know what it is. But if you work out consistently, if you stay hydrated, if you eat a healthy diet and get like as many of your minerals and nutrients as you need from real food, y'all, you don't need to do those things. I'm gonna tell you one more story and then we're gonna get out of here. And Misty, if you're here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I am in a sort of a Facebook fitness group. I just fell over all those F's in that sentence. A Facebook fitness group. And a lot of it is just like folks hang out in there to see other people's comments. Like not a whole lot of people comment, but it is not uncommon that we'll get comments about people asking about the latest fad. Like, oh, if I do this, will I lose weight? Or if I do that, will I lose weight? And it's always just the dumbest crap. And I try not to comment and I try not to comment, but then somebody will go in the chat and be like, no, that doesn't work. Just get up off your butt, move around and eat less. And I'm like, woohoo, hallelujah. Yes, you are right. That's what you need to do. Like, quit with the fads. And I feel like half the time, the people who are falling for the fads are like being suckered by the people selling the fads. And I know it's buyer beware. Like you should research stuff and not just go like buying the next multi-level marketing pyramid scheme that comes down the pike. But sometimes people are desperate, right? And they just want to feel better. They want to look better. They want help getting up off the couch and getting moving. And so somebody that comes along and says, if you do this, if you take this drink, if you do this, if you pay to do this workout, or if you buy this workout and we'll throw this workout in with it, and then you'll lose all of this weight in a week. Or if you drink this pre-workout thing before breakfast and before dinner. One I just saw was drink these 2 4-ounce drinks, like one before breakfast and one before dinner, and it'll, what was it? You will lose toxic sludge out of your body and you could lose 2 to 10 pounds. Hang on, let me find it. Hang on, I'm gonna read y'all the actual thing. I'm gonna piss somebody off, but I don't even care because this is just insipid. This is awful. Here it is, you ready? If you could chug down a 4-ounce detox, we've talked about detoxes, a 4-ounce detox drink before breakfast and dinner for 2 days in a row, lose 2 to 10 pounds of toxic sludge, debloat your tummy, and combat fatigue all at once, would you be willing to try it? I want to know what you're going to detoxify my body of. Because, well, anyway, we're not going to get all back into that, but I believe that the person that posted that fell for a bill of goods, and the person that sold it to them probably fell for a bill of goods from the person that got them to buy into this company. Y'all, that's all a racket. Please don't fall for that stuff. And again, I'm not trying to act like I'm all like smart and never fall for nothing. Y'all know I fall for stuff all the time, but I don't fall for quick fix fad diets because I know those don't work. So let me get off my soapbox before I fall off of it and hurt myself. Can you hear this felon snoring? They're going to be mad when I get up and wake them up. But I'm gonna get up off this couch. I'm gonna go in the kitchen and we're gonna make some stuff. So let me get out from under these felons and I will meet y'all in the kitchen. All right, y'all, let's get things going here because I'm getting tired and I'm ready to be done. So we're gonna do a bit of a cooking twofer because I'm almost out of my breakfast eggs. I have one more of my little like breakfast sandwich eggs and I'm gonna eat that in the morning, but I don't wanna have to cook anything tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my next batch of breakfast eggs. So I figured we'd do those together. So I have gone ahead and cracked, I did 8 eggs into my bowl because I can never remember. I know it's more than 6 eggs that I need for my 6 breakfast sandwich eggs. And I think I always do 7 and I end up just a little bit short. But now I'm wondering if I always do 8 and I still end up a little bit short. So I'm going to whip up these 8 eggs. Y'all hang on a second. Because I imagine that sounded just gross enough, me trying to talk over those eggs sloshing about. So I've whipped up my 8 eggs. And I have my special, like, super big and flat muffin tin thing, which I linked before. I'll link it again because I love this thing. But anyway, I'm just going to scoop my eggs into there. Yep, it's 8 eggs for 6 cups or 6 little like egg sandwiches. So now I'm going to put in some fat-free cheese. And I tried it when I first did this. First of all, speaking of mistakes I made so y'all don't have to, I did like regular shaped, regular sized muffins for my eggs. That was awful. I mean, not awful, it was just weird and they were the wrong shape. And I didn't put cheese in them. I was like, oh, I'll just put cheese on my sandwich. Nope. Go ahead, get these. Go ahead and invest in you a like, they're called muffin top muffins. So go ahead and invest in you one of these and bake your cheese right straight into it. So now these are going to go in the oven. So I'm going to, how many stories am I going to tell today? Our oven is kind of dying because our house is 20 years old, so our oven is 20 years old. So I'm going to do mine at about 380, but it's really 350 because our oven doesn't come to temperature. But anyway, bake them at about 350, but y'all keep an eye on them. Do not overbake your eggs because they're gross that way. But it works out so well. So in the morning, all I do is, I've told y'all this before, like if I have 45 minutes to ride, I'll ride for 35 minutes and then it takes me 10 minutes. I grab a Thomas's, one of the reduced calorie, it's like a multi-grain light Thomas's English muffin. Split it, stick it in the toaster. While that's toasting, I grab a piece of parchment paper, put my egg on the parchment paper, put my Canadian bacon on the egg, stick it in the microwave oven for 30 seconds. When that buzzes, my English muffin is done. Throw that together, throw it down my face hole, and run back to class. Good as gold. Takes me 10 minutes to do all that. Get the felons their comfort break, and get us back upstairs and ready to teach. So these are going to go in the oven, and then let's get over to the stove and make our dinner. All right, y'all, let's make dinner. So I am going to make, remember we made beef and broccoli before? Well, when the intern's around, we make beef and broccoli. The intern is not here, so we're going to make chicken and broccoli. And, hang on, let me spray my pan with some Pam. Got to pull stuff down on my head. Y'all know the intern is not a fan of the onion arts. Well, I like onions. So I'm going to start off sauteing some onions. Just a little bit, just to give it a little extra something. And of course I diced my onions using my vegetable slammy chopper, because that makes them look fancy. So let me tell you what we're doing. We got onions. I cut up about a pound of chicken. I got broccoli thawing in the microwave. And I went ahead, y'all know how we do. I shook up my sauce in my shaky jar. And what this is it's supposed to be a quarter of a cup, but I used thirds of a cup because I wanted a little more. So it's a third of a cup of water, a third of a cup of soy sauce, a tablespoon of the white stuff that gets everywhere, cornstarch. It's my thickening agent. I used a tablespoon of minced garlic, tablespoon of minced ginger, and y'all go on and put your judgy faces on. I used some toasted sesame oil. Now, I know this is a seed oil, and I know we're off of the seed oils, but let me tell you how I'm justifying this. First of all, I like it, and I am not cooking in the seed oil. I'm using it as a flavor enhancer. And I need to do some more reading, because some of the reading that I did said that the problem with seed oils is that when you get them up to like a certain, like when they get super hot, that's when things go bad with them. But then I read some recent studies, which are horrifying, that say that is it linoleic acid in the seed oils that are the problem? Like they're carcinogenic. There are clear links between, I'm just going to say linoleic acid because I think that's right. And if that's the wrong word, just sub in the right word for linoleic acid because it's fun to say. But that there are clear links between that and cancer. That's not good. But it's high, I was going to say high doses. Okay, let me turn y'all this way and step away from this sizzly food while I talk to you. So obviously I just poured my chicken in there, and I'm just going to throw that around with the onions. Now I'm not going to, I'm going to leave my chicken a little bit underdone, throw in the broccoli, because I'm not going to eat raw chicken, but I don't want to overcook my chicken either. So anyway, I think that, I don't know where I was with my linoleic acid, but I think that in smaller quantities, it's okay. But I really do need to read on that, because whether I'm going to eat it or not, I still want to be able to share the right information about it. So I'm going to learn some more. But in the meantime, I put a tablespoon of toasted sesame oil in my sauce. I have to remember to take the trash down the road tonight, y'all, because that's one of the intern's chores, and he's out of town, and tonight's trash night. I just remember that because I heard a noise outside, and I was like, oh, the intern's not here. I was thinking, because you know how sometimes he comes home while we're talking, and we have an intern spotting. Not today, y'all, not today. So yeah, we might put eating seed oils on the list of things that I do so y'all don't have to. The intern got mad at me the other day because I've taken many of the plastic things out of our house. Specifically, and we talked about this, the plastic things we cook in, because y'all, that is such low-hanging fruit for, all right, I'm going to throw my broccoli in here. That is such low-hanging fruit for, what are they called, microplastics? I might have to make some more broccoli. Like if you drink out of plastic water bottles regularly, if you can stop doing that, and if you heat food in plastic containers, stop that right now. So I remember that was my excuse for buying some more cute ceramic bowls, as though we needed any more ceramic bowls. But, oh, I'm hitting my camera. Sorry if I'm making y'all seasick. But anyway, the intern was making some Easy Mac the other night, and we have 2 plastic bowls left in the thing amongst dozens of microplastic safe bowls. Oh, my eggs. And he grabbed one of the plastic bowls, and I was like, honey, can we please don't let's cook in plastic? And he's like, oh, I've been cooking in plastic my whole life. I'll stop tomorrow. And I just gave him like this look, like, please don't make yourself die. So he's like, well, why do we even have them? Just throw them away. So we had to, Daisy said, right? I know, right? So we had to throw away the plastic bowls right then. But yeah, so I think all of our plastic bowls are gone. So that's good. Oh, you know what I heard? Can y'all hear that? Okay, that was my oven preheating, but at first I thought that was thunder. I think that's not thunder. I think maybe that's the Air Force being noisy over my house. My friends have very noisy toys. All right. That is so noisy. Can y'all hear that? They're so noisy. When I was selling houses, I sold to some guys. I sold a couple of houses to guys in the Air Force. So when they'd be like, on days they were super noisy, I'd text them and be like, y'all, your friends are being super noisy. Can you settle down, please? Or like, I'm trying to teach a class. Can you go play somewhere else? I mean, they didn't. They finished flying right where they were flying. All right, so I talked right straight through that step. I just threw my sauce in. And I'm going to let it come to temperature, let this thicken up, and then I'm going to pull it straight off because I don't want it to turn to glue. And I'm going to want to leave it a little bit soupy because, y'all, so this is broccoli 0.0 bites, onions obviously 0.0 bites. There's nothing in that sauce. Chicken, I looked it up to make sure that it's 0 bites. So 0.0 bites. You know what? I think, remember I had it all up in my head that I was going to have to count bites for my lean protein meats. I wonder if that was when I was doing the free bit on the Bites app. Because whoever it was that pointed this out, please claim this in the chat because this was really helpful information. It was the free app that was like the old Weight Watchers, I think it was the green plan where you had to count points for all of that stuff. And when you pay for the app, it's the blue plan or something like that. And so those things like chicken breast is free. It's 0 bites. So I say all of that to say that this is 0.0 bites. Look how delicious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill the heat and I'm going to eat it. Of course, I'm going to give you a second because y'all know what I'm going to do. Yes, I'm going to eat it over some rice and that's going to be delicious. And that's at least 3 days worth of food right there. So I am set until the intern comes home. So that's my plan. Can y'all hear the oven cycling, cooking my eggs? So yeah, I'm going to finish cooking my eggs. I'm going to eat some of this and I'm going to post up on the couch and read books with my furry felons because I am officially done for the day. So y'all, let us know in the chats. You've already known all of my things that we shouldn't do that I have done so that you don't have to do them. All the don't do this if you want to be successful on a fitness plan that I've already done. Let us know in the chat. What are some things that you're either struggling with that you know you shouldn't be doing, but you're having a hard time breaking the habit of doing them, or things that you used to do that you don't do anymore, but you know there are people that do them. Let us know in the comments. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, we are most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos over here the beginning of every week with some book videos over on Fit Danielle Reads sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.